The following news flash is brought to you by the Lone Star Lowdown, providing your daily bulletins for the commodities market. Today in history, news updates, and the inside scoop into the tides of the alternative. Markets for Wednesday, the 17th of February, 2016, are currently trading with gold at $1,207.60 an ounce, silver $15.29 an ounce, Texas crude $29.04 a barrel, and Bitcoin is currently sitting at about 419 U.S. currency. Today in history, the year 1776, the first volume of Edward Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire is published. The whole series traces the trajectory of Western civilization as well as the Islamic and Mongolian conquest from the height of the Roman Empire to the fall of the Eastern Byzantium. It was published in 6 volumes, and Volume 1 was hot off the presses today in history. In recent news, University of Texas in Austin President Greg Fenves submitted rules to comply with the state's new campus carry law today. Guns will be allowed in classrooms at the University of Texas in Austin in accordance with open carry legislation. However, apparently not in the dorms, except for a few exceptions. They would be allowed in common areas. Family members visiting the dorms would be allowed to carry them, and staff members who work in the dorms would also be allowed to have them. However, Attorney General Ken Paxton has argued that guns should be allowed in student housing as well. Campus carry has been one of the most controversial issues in this last year at colleges across the state. Opposition has been especially strong at UT Austin, where the Faculty Council passed numerous resolutions against allowing guns in the classrooms. Fenves' rules are likely to be challenged by both sides, and UT System Chancellor William H. McRaven predicted earlier this year that his school will be sued by people who think the guidelines are too strict or too lenient. The law goes into effect August 1st. According to federal prosecutors, investigators have so far discovered firearms, explosives, and trenches dug near an area containing tribal artifacts at the Oregon Wildlife Preserve, occupied by Citizens for Constitutional Freedom for nearly 6 weeks. FBI did not describe the types of firearms or explosives or say what led the investigators to think vehicles on the premises may have been booby-trapped. However, they provided this information in response to a motion from the defense lawyers who wanted immediate access to the site. Apparently, defense teams must be escorted by FBI personnel and mustn't disturb or remove any items, while all the evidence seized by the FBI will be available for inspection at the agency's field office in Portland. Defense lawyers, however, are challenging that arrangement, and a judge is expected to hear arguments on the matter next week. Attorneys for jailed Eamon Bundy said that they were concerned about the damages to the site that may have been done by occupiers after he and other leaders were arrested. This was your lowdown for February 17, 2016.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I've got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the walls. The chair is against the walls. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I have a joke for you.
Hey?
The government in this town is excellent and uses your tax dollars efficiently.
I thought you'd see it coming. The moment you Bitcoin is immune from attack almost completely. Bitcoin, you actually gain far more from using that computing power to generate Bitcoin.
There's a system approaching perfection. Just in time for it to disappear. There's a system approaching perfection. Just in time for it to disappear.
We'll walk deeper into the belly of the beast. If it means I'm able to further limit reckless government spending. I mean, I have so many ideas. Some are simple, like take down traffic lights and eliminate the post office. The bigger ones will be tougher, like bring all of this crumbling to the ground.
Night, I saw the father enter. She saw the parasite from around her. Thief, liar, and evil murderer. Chase them out the house because them cannot enter. Pure in heart and clean hands only. Only them could enter in God's house, you see. Save your soul, surrender quickly. That's what we are doing now, we have the house, you see.
I will occupy my father's house. I won't allow the wicked to come and keep me sleeping still and true. My soul along with it. There are those in this world who would harm us. They will not prevail. Cause when I occupy my father's house, there's more wind to be seen. I will occupy my father's house.
Love alone, we do it and I do it properly. My father don't want no murder around me. Thou shalt not kill man, him don't tell me. Occupy the house and we do it properly. Only pure heart cleans and entry. Just like a thief in the night we enter. No wicked man, no killer man couldn't round ya. Could I never see it for it.
I will occupy my father's house till it becomes clear that he has come to take control. I know that's why he put me. All investment will be in good faith and in good time. I will protect his remnant. Will not let it fall to petty crime.
When you reach here, man, you must be proper. And you have to talk, me say talk proper. Have a love, peaceful heart you after. So you are gonna see the face of the father. No wicked man, me say coulda enter. Couldn't jump through the back door and enter. Coulda never even climb through the window. Have to come through the front of the father.
I will occupy my father's house till he comes to take his throne. The time will be of his choosing, will not be of my own. Oh, I will occupy my father's house till he returns.
Saying before, welcome to Live from Anarchapulco. I'm sitting here with Joby Weeks and Sasha Daygame. What is your day game?
What's going on? My day game is helping the men of this world connect with beautiful women and getting the partner of their dreams. That's what I do.
All righty.
There's a lot of people out there that are looking for those types of services.
There sure are. If only those people all had Bitcoin, that would be amazing.
All right. And we're also sitting here with Joby Weeks, and he's into some Bitcoin stuff himself. And we'll also have Roger Ver coming on at around 9, and we're going to talk about some more Bitcoin stuff. And we may have Jeff Berwick and Luke Rudowski stop in as well. So tell us, what else do you do, Joby?
Dude, I've been fascinated with learning about Sasha. You know, he's got a great life traveling around the world, and I want to hear more about him rather than myself.
I want to hear about you, dude.
We're having like a bromance over here.
It's really I'm worried about my sexuality. No, once in a while, you know, here's the thing. When you're an outlier, when you're somebody who does not go with like normal society, you think outside the box, you act outside, you live outside the box. I can't connect with normal people that much. It's difficult to do that because I'm on another planet. So when I meet someone else who's on their own planet, I'm like, oh, I see you're on a completely other planet than everyone. Awesome. We should talk about our planets with each other. And it's really cool. And you don't meet people like that often. So that's why this event is so amazing for anybody who's thinking they should be here. You probably should, because it's a bunch of people who are completely outside the box in everything.
Yeah,
amazing.
You don't have to start at square one with anyone down here. Everybody. And there's still time. There's still time for you guys to hop a flight and get down here. The official event doesn't start till Friday.
That's right.
And we've just been having a little pre-party here for the last couple of days, and you're definitely not going to want to miss this event. It's twice the size of the event we had last year. The hotels kick ass, beautiful view. Instead of at the bottom of the conference centers in the basement, this is at the penthouse, overlooking the Bay of Acapulco, right on the beach. Nice spas, nice pool, nice food, lots of drinks.
We just got to see the beautiful sunset just a little while ago.
Oh my goodness, it's paradise out here, guys. It really is. And you know what? No one bugs you down here except for people trying to sell you stuff, which is I'm totally okay with because I'm an entrepreneur. I hustle. I like to sell stuff.
You know what? I've been to India. And when the Indians try and sell you things, it's really, really annoying. They really get in your face. Here, they're very polite. They're just like, they look at you and you kind of go, no. And they're like, okay, cool. There's no big deal at all. The people are super, super sweet people. The beach is gorgeous. The sun is all the time shining down on you, filling your body with beautiful vitamin D. It's the best thing ever. And it's completely safe on the main street. A lot of people are worried to come down here, right? Because they look at the media, and of course there's a massive campaign to scare everybody from going down to Mexico. But actually the tourist street is completely safe. My wife walks around all the time. It's beautiful. It's got cops all around the place. Normally I'm against cops, but here they don't actually hassle you. They just fart around and it's fine. So totally safe. I feel comfortable as here as I do anywhere.
And
that's
there's
beautiful.
There's these great wellness, vegan
if you're in a gang,
restaurants and stuff. They take Bitcoin. They give us
there's
10%
one amazing,
discount.
there's one amazing restaurant.
Get smoothies and juices and stuff. I mean, I've had like 4 of these juices.
Just one thing though, if you're in a gang, don't come down here and try to get down territory, because then you are going to get in trouble. Don't come down here if you're in a gang. But if you're not in a gang, I just want to emphasize this: if you're a normal person, you're just coming down to chill. It's a safe place. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. Yeah, we went out last night. We went to a restaurant that they got to accept Bitcoin. And so there was like 20 of us there eating and, paying for it all with Bitcoin. Somehow or another, we ended up across the street in a hotel doing tequila shots. I don't know how that happened, but I don't really remember what happened after that, but it was a great time.
As long as it was 100% agave, it's fine.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Maestro, whatever that is. It's great.
Nice.
So, what do you think? One of us is going to have to go first and talk about some interesting stuff. What do you think?
You go.
Moi?
Yes.
Moi?
More Sasha.
What do you want to know?
Well, what was your speech about today?
My speech today was apparently I've been told it was quite good. Is that what you're saying?
It was fucking awesome.
Oh, hey,
you can't say that.
Hey, you're going to get someone fired. Listen, normally I'm the guy using the foul language. So, I did stand-up comedy for my whole life. That was my deal. So it should be a good speech.
Tell us a joke. Tell us a joke.
All of his jokes have cuss words.
Yeah, dude, seriously. As soon as you sound like, I'd love to, but someone's going to get in trouble. And it's not going to be me, probably. It's going to be other people. Something will hit me, though. Something appropriate. But, the speech was just about, the fact that most people have something they are passionate about in life. And I got very lucky in my life because, I had a problem in my life. I had a really tough childhood. I didn't get much love from my parents. I had one parent and my mom, and she had a lot of issues, and she wasn't able to really teach me very much about the world. So I had to figure out everything out on my own. I had no social skills. True story about me. You'll probably laugh, but it's okay. When I was a kid, I had such such bad clothes and stuff. Other kids that had Nikes, and they'd be like, "Hey, what shoe brands do you have?" And I had like the $5 shoes from a store called Byway, which is like Dollarland. And I'd be like, "Yeah, I got shoe brand shoes, bro. They're just shoes. There's no brand. They're from China. My China brand. That's what I have." I was the worst dressed kid wearing like track pants and $5 shoes. I dreamed.
So you didn't get laid,
dude. It was so. Can he say laid? I don't know what the rules are. I have a podcast, the Sasha Day Game podcast. You can say anything you want on the internet. So this is weird. But check this out. I had a stepfather. True story. Not making this up. I grew up in Toronto, Canada. The worst place in the world for meeting women. But that's a side note. Toronto, Canada. 10 years old. Other people get like dogs and stuff. My stepfather bought me a goat. A goat. Do you know what goats do? They just poop. That's all they do. You ever try walking a goat down the street downtown Toronto when it's pooping? That's me. That's my life. It was horrific. So it's not really a surprise that I had no social skills, no confidence with anybody. So as I grew up, I went to do stand-up comedy. I got very good at stand-up comedy. But when it came to a beautiful girl, if I saw a girl look at me and I liked her, I would freeze. I had girls throwing themselves at me that like me. I was too much of a wimp to do anything. I was a super nice guy. My idea, and a lot of guys have these confused ideas, which society shows us, which are absolute, just they're falsities. Oh, you have to be a nice guy. Open doors for them. Get them flowers. Take them out to dinner. Yeah, you're pathetic if you do all that stuff because you have no value in yourself as a man, no real confidence, and you think you have to buy your way into a woman to get her. You have to spend money to get a relationship with a girl or to get sex. That's pathetic, and that's what we're taught. Men are taught to be weak.
Yeah, to go get the table.
Oh yeah, go to the club. $5 grand is to start, bro. You can spend 25 G's on a table. It's insane that this is what we're being bred to be. And so my message and what I did was I went out there and I decided to overcome my fear, and I started doing something that's called a day game within the seduction niche. And that's just walking around the streets and talking to girls and flirting with them.
And videotaping it. And now you got hundreds of thousands, millions of views.
Yeah.
People from all over the world love what you're doing, walking up to random girls on the street and talking with them and finding out more about them, taking them on dates. And people are sending you fan mail. They're testing out your techniques. And
yeah, this has been going on for a while. Yeah.
Now you're doing events and people are paying like $10 grand to come and hang out with you.
Well, those are the exclusive courses for a week. Yeah. Normal events, a few $100. But yeah, it's fun. And it just shows you. And that's what my talk was about. My talk was if you have some sort of pain or a problem and you actually go and solve that and you get some kind of skill.
And it looks like we're coming to break. So we'll pick this up on the other side.
You are listening to the Logos Radio Network. LogosRadioNetwork.com.
This is what happens when you call the cops. Say what? This is what happens when you call the cops. Come on. This is what happens when you call the cops. You get your rights violated or you all get shot. This is what happens when you call the cops. This is what happens when you call the cops. This is what happens when you call the cops. You get your rights violated or you all get shot.
Welcome back to the Crypto Show, live from Anarchapulco. And now we have Juan Galt joining us as well. But Sasha is fixing to tell us about why his pickup art is not so douchey.
Not so douchey. Well, I think I was in the middle of a sentence there. Oh, yeah, okay. So basically, so most guys who go around and, they're in the, they call themselves pickup artists or they're in the seduction niche or whatever. They're really coming at it from a different place, and that place is they're really desperate to get some sex with girls, and I can understand that because I was in the same place. But they'll resort to sort of manipulative tactics. They'll do a lot of emotional manipulation. They'll get very good at physically escalating on girls and grabbing them the right way and getting them horny and all this kind of aggressive stuff. A lot of them will use money. Some of them try and use social status to get girls. All this stuff that's not really, it's not based on improving yourself as a human being, as a man. It's based on manipulation, fake stuff. So women see through that. So the problem is if you go and use some of those techniques and you get a girl, even if you get her into bed and you sleep with her, she's going to wake up the next day and see you're not the man she thought that you were pretending to be, and she's not going to want to be with you, and then it's over. And so of course these guys go and they sleep with all these girls, and of course they can't actually forge a real relationship with a woman. And what happens if you just have sex with women and none of them really like you for who you are? You get pretty angry and bitter at women, and you start thinking it's their fault. It's not their fault. You're being fake, and you're using manipulation to get girls into bed with you. So I'm totally against that, and that's why I really don't like the whole PUA term anymore, and I'm rebranding, and I'm going to get rid of my old website and all this kind of stuff, because that's not me. And I'm all about, just looking at a man and saying, okay, this is what you need to fix in your life, whether it be your health, your looks, like if you're dressing really bad, if you have bad beliefs, if you're needy, if you had really weird behaviors, if you don't know how to have a real conversation, if you're not connecting with a woman, if you're not, there's so many elements when it comes to, really connecting with somebody, and we work on all of them. And it starts with the self. It starts with self-love. And so if somebody comes to me, I can tell if you really don't go out there, you don't feel good about yourself, you don't really, if you don't look in the mirror and think that's a good guy, I would date that guy, no woman is going to date you. And so that's really where we come at it. I'm really improving the self. One of my taglines is, become your best self. So it's really about self-improvement.
So it's far more than just being about dating. It's about life in general.
Yeah, my niche is dating, but to really excel in dating, it's all about getting your life together, becoming an amazing person, and then of course you can attract a partner for you. But the funny thing is when people do my training and they end up getting an amazing girlfriend or whatever, they become so confident because they get rid of their social fear. They're able to approach women in various situations. I do a lot of ego busting. A lot of people are worried what people think, and one of my specialties is, I have a bunch of exercises I make people do where they stop caring. I put people into situations where their ego is challenged. So for example, walking up to a couple and saying, hey guys, you guys know, can you help me how to get to this whatever, and while picking your nose and then eating it and then picking your nose while maintaining eye contact, asking for directions and wiping it on your shirt, and then when people are like, "Wait, we got to go," then shaking their hand and be like, "Hey, thanks, bro." Stuff where people will look at you and think you're an absolute idiot. But the funny thing is, when you put yourself into humiliating situations on purpose, guess what happens? You stop caring what people think about you. You start becoming fearless, and you start doing whatever you want in your life. So people who generally work with me, once they get their situation with women handled, they tend to quit their jobs. They tend to start businesses. They tend to travel the world. They do what they want with their lives. Because if you overcome fear in any one area, and I'm talking about anything, can be women, can be fear of heights, anything. If you really overcome fear in one area, you suddenly realize, wait a minute, it wasn't real. I can apply this to other areas of my life. And so that is really the power of what I'm talking about here.
And you're doing an event next week, right after Anarchapulco, down here in Acapulco.
So funny of you to mention
And
that.
you take Bitcoin.
It's unbelievable.
We're bringing it all back to Bitcoin.
It's unbelievable.
All right.
I am doing an event. It's the Direct Dating Summit. It's the 7th one, and it's this one in particular is about relationship mastery. So it's all about
coupon code Crypto Show for 10% discount.
10% discount.
There you go.
We could set that up.
Or just crypto.
Crypto.
Yeah.
And crypto is one of the guests here is winking at me and seductively, but I won't say who it is. He's doing it very cryptologically. So a little joke. You want a little joke? But it's all about relationship mastery. So how to have amazing relationships with people, whether it be monogamous, polyamorous. We have self-help people coming down, authors coming down, dating coaches. So if you want to have amazing relationships in your life and you're in Acapulco or you're thinking of coming down here for the Acapulco event, why not come down and extend your ticket to the Wednesday and come to the Direct Dating Summit? That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah. We take Bitcoin.
I just want to add, in defense of the PUA movement to some degree, I actually started my sort of introspection journey through PUA. I've studied psychology and personal development. I've been doing this for years. But my initial sort of spark was listening to a pickup artist. His name was David D'Angelo. I don't know if he's alive around anymore or whatever, right? And he said, like, listen, you got to pay attention to your self-talk. You got to pay attention to how you're talking to yourself because that drives your behavior. And that was the spark that sort of led me down this path. And so there's a lot of value in there's a lot of people out there that are just kind of in automatic mode and just bouncing off walls, right? And once you start to self-reflect, that's right. That's very valuable.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. It's all about being conscious in everything that you do. And most people, that's the problem with what's happening on the planet today. People are unconscious. They go to work, they pay their taxes, they eat their food, they shit, they have sex, whatever. There's no one's really going, who am I? Who am I really? What's my purpose? What am I doing here? People are not connected to the higher source. And I believe all of us are much greater than just these silly monkeys running around. I think, if you really tap into who you are, you're much greater than that. And I think most people do know that if they tap into it. Problem is we're so distracted by the fear, the propaganda by the governments, the fluoride in the water, all the chemicals in the food. People can't even, they don't even feel good enough to function well normally, never mind dealing with all this other stuff that's going on. So that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
You all got to wake up, son.
Luckily, we got solutions.
Today, after you guys did your speeches and everything, you had this Shark Tank thing. That was pretty interesting. What came out of it? Did you guys see anything that was worth investing in? Or?
I like the arcade one, which is a stupid name, but it's an Uber that takes Bitcoin. You can pick your driver, you can schedule pickups, and I just love the idea.
Like Lazoo's kind of? Which is already a cryptocurrency ride-sharing.
Yeah, I guess I never heard of Lazoo's, but I heard about this arcade one because I'm really all about affiliate marketing. Like, I took my Uber code and I posted it to my Facebook wall, and all my friends clicked to get a free ride on Uber, and because they clicked through my link, I got a free ride too. And I give away like hundreds of free rides. I've been riding Uber for 2 years for free. I've probably ridden enough Ubers to go from California to freaking New York, and I haven't paid for one yet because I just shared my link. But after that, I don't make any money after that. Uber makes all the money from that point on. All I did was get them into Uber, and then they make all the money forever. With this new one, Arcade, whatever it's called, that one, you not only do you get paid to invite your friends in, but every time those dudes take a ride, you get paid over and over and over again. The guy who takes 100 rides, you get paid 100 times. I mean, that's freaking brilliant, right? Yeah. That's what network marketing is, and that's what I'm really excited about is word of mouth decentralization, getting everybody free so they don't have to work jobs and make money other ways. They can make money just doing what they're passionate about.
There was another guy that everybody loved who video games are huge, and so if you want to play someone heads up in some video game and you want to kick their ass, you want to bet money on it. You can bet money on it, and then the winner gets the money. And so basically, it's huge. I mean, people are already spending massive amounts of money on these events. People are filling up arenas with video games.
You can do it online,
yeah. That's
people from all around the world, and you're betting in Bitcoin.
Yeah,
and
amazing.
And the gamers are huge, bigger than movies and everything else. Gaming is just massive. So,
and there was a guy from PeerTracks.com, and I thought that was pretty good. It was basically a service that's like Spotify or iTunes, but the artist actually gets the money. So rather than having all these licensing agreements between countries where the countries are fighting over, and different companies are fighting over the money, the artist directly gets the money. And there's also another added element where you can have tokens where you actually vote for the artist that you like, and that's a little bit more complicated to go into. Basically, it was a platform where musicians are going to get money themselves, and it'll support more musicians and create more amazing music.
Visa and Apple.
Yeah, exactly. All these huge corporations coming and taking a huge percentage. So I'm definitely supporting that. That's awesome.
Another one I liked was Follow My Vote. It's these guys that have created Nathan and Adam. These guys have this crypto voting platform that you can vote online, and it's all transparent, open source on the blockchain, and I think it could be a real solution for all types, not just political voting and county elections or whatever, but what beer is the best, or what American Idol or whatever. You can actually see your vote, make sure your vote got counted. It's all on the blockchain, and so I think that one's going to be a big winner,
huge
all around the world. I mean, they were saying Bulgaria is already writing them saying, hey, we'll do a beta test on some elections and stuff like that. And, I mean, when you're transparent, if you guys ever watch those movies, Invisible Ballots or Uncounted, or Hacking Democracy, it's like what Stalin said. It doesn't matter who you're voting for; it's who counts your vote. And if I'm counting your vote, I always win.
Also, I know we talked to somebody recently about the voting, and they said that early voting is a bad idea because the tapes they don't record the tapes. I don't have the exact information on this right now, but if you vote the day of the election, then you have
it's counted
a
right
chance.
Away.
Yeah,
and if it's close, then they open up the mail and they're like, all right.
Yeah.
Not that any fraudulent voting would ever happen in a country like.
But I really want to know how many other people voted for SpongeBob like I did. But
I always write in Ron Paul. I'm just like, you know what, Ron Paul, he's still alive. He should be on the ballot.
Yeah.
I actually just talked to these guys on their way up here, and one of their chief technical officer is one of the developers for BitShares. Right? He actually invented BitShares. They're somewhat on BitShares, but they're blockchain agnostic, so they have very good technical sort of backing and reputation in this space. So this is a legit company. Very interesting.
Cool.
And of course, then there's BitClub.
Foot-in-mouth syndrome. We've all been there. Whether you're on the giving end or the receiving end of a hurtful comment, words are hard to take back. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht, and I'll be back in a moment with some things that should never roll off your tongue.
Your search engine is watching you, recording all your searches and creating a massive database of your personal information. That's creepy. But it doesn't have to be that way. Startpage.com is the world's most private search engine. Startpage doesn't store your IP address, make a record of your searches, or use tracking cookies, and they're third-party certified. If you don't like Big Brother spying on you, start over with Startpage. Great search results and total privacy. Startpage.com, the world's most private search engine.
In social situations, there are some things you should never say. These top my list. When is the baby due? Never say this to a woman. Imagine the embarrassment if she simply gained a few pounds. Don't talk baby unless she brings it up. You look good for your age, or you look great after losing all that weight, are indirect insults. Instead, just say, you look terrific. What's your secret? Finally, no matter how bad someone looks, never say, you look awful. That'll just make the person feel worse. Instead, say, how are things going? If they want to talk, that'll open the door. And those are today's tips for taming your tongue. I'm Dr. Dr. Catherine Albrecht. More news and information at CatherineAlbrecht.com.
Live Free Speech Radio, LogosRadioNetwork.com.
What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time.
And welcome back to Live from Anarchapulco on the Crypto Show, brought to you by Brave New Books, Hill Country Home Improvements, and Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr. That's our best sponsor, Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
So.
And John Bush.
Yeah, there you go. So, Juan, what do you got?
Well, you asked me about Dash.
Yeah.
And yeah, the main thing that I'll be doing here is, well, I'll be interviewing a bunch of people, but I'm going to be doing a speech on Dash because I think that what they're doing is very interesting. They're very much sort of solved a lot of the problems that Bitcoin has right now. And, if Bitcoin cannot solve a lot of these problems, then Dash is very well positioned to sort of overtake that market, or at least sort of solve some of those niches, right? So I'll just drop you like maybe 3 quick things that Dash does better, right? Instant transactions, right? I think we all want Bitcoin to be something we spend everywhere. We want to completely avoid fiat. We want to just Bitcoin to be the money, right? But Bitcoin right now has a couple of very big problems with retail. For example, if you want to go buy anything on a retail where you get the good and immediately you get your sandwich and then you pay them and then you leave, the merchant's kind of left holding the bag. And Peter Todd just released and actually got a piece of software included into the Bitcoin Core, which actually makes it easier to cheat zero confirmation transactions, right? It's called Replace by Fee, and basically he open source software that helps you double spend transactions if you do under zero confirmations, right? And he has his own sort of view of why this is great, but it's basically put a big wrench in the middle of any kind of zero confirmation sort of purchases, which kills retail for Bitcoin, right? If you can't really go buy vegan food at the restaurant over here with that. Like, you're doing it, but one of us that know how to do this could go and cheat him, and he would have no clue, right? So that's a big problem. Dash has something called instant transactions, right? Which actually has basically solved this problem. And the basic thing they do is they have kind of like collateralized nodes that get rewarded for being master nodes for running a full blockchain, and they have to put in like $4,000 to be a master node. So once you have a network of 3,000 of these master nodes, you can sort of send a transaction and it gets to a random set of, let's say, 20 master nodes, and they all say, yeah, we got it. They tell the rest of the network to ignore any transactions that conflict with that first one. And boom, solves the problem, and it takes about 3 seconds for that to happen on the network space, right? And
you don't think Bitcoin could find master nodes too? Or?
Well, Bitcoin, it's technically possible, right? I think what Evan Duffield, the developer of Dash, says is that, well, you would have to change a lot of things in Bitcoin. You kind of have to rewrite Bitcoin in some ways, because master nodes get 45% of the block reward as part of the incentive to be sort of master nodes, right? And then you have to build in this feature into it, right? So it's not easy. Bitcoin is $6 billion market cap, and it's a very large network. We've seen how difficult it is for Bitcoin to move forward. There's some innovations happening right now which may make it easier to make these kind of improvements on the blockchain, but you would have to sort of convince enough people in Bitcoin to say, okay, we're going to have to actually allocate some block rewards to master to node count, right? And that's a big change.
So some of these, for instance, Bitcoin ATMs, right? They're nodes, and that's how they can dish out the money without getting a double spin, because they're a node themselves, right? And so I think there's probably ways. I mean, I'm sitting here trying to defend Bitcoin.
Dash is actually integrated with Lamassu Bitcoin ATMs, so you can get Bitcoin or Dash with them, and they have a really cool model where it's kind of self-sufficient, where it pays for itself, and the miners get to choose like who they're going to advertise with or what new improvements they're going to make. It's all decided by the miners and paid for out of the block rewards.
And this is actually one of the arguments that Peter Todd made for his Replace by Fiat, the software, which is that there's actually a lot of ATMs in New York and other places in the United States that have actually had to stop accepting zero confirmation transactions because they were getting double spend, and they were getting double spend on cash.
Because they're not nodes.
No, it's not. You can be a full node, but you still have to wait for the network to agree that your transaction went through and it's legit, right? And so even if you have a full node hosted out of your ATM, you're still going to have to wait for at least one confirmation, right? And so people were going in, putting in Bitcoin, taking out cash, and their wallet would sort of send the same transaction to another node in China, right? And then they'll sort of try to game the system, right? You basically you can game the chances within the first confirmation time set. So, and they were, right? This is the only source that I have for this is Peter Todd, but apparently this has happened in ATM.
Well, Peter Todd performed a double spin.
Well, he did, yeah. He definitely did. Yeah.
I'd like to learn more how to do this and get free money by cheating the Bitcoin system.
Google
I want to do
You're
double
not
spending.
cheating
How
the
do I
system,
do that?
You're cheating people.
Oh, okay,
You're violating property rights.
Can you tell me how to do that? I'd like to. Oh, what?
It violates the non-aggression.
Oh wait, we're not supposed to talk.
You're stealing property from people.
Sorry, guys, I was confused.
Peter Todd GitHub. Yeah, no, it's bad.
No, it is bad. What a bastard.
I was just joking, folks. If that wasn't clear, I'm a comic. I make jokes.
Yeah.
So Peter Todd spoke here last year too as well. I don't know why he didn't come back. Maybe
So that's what Dashcoin is. Okay, so there's Dashcoin, there's Ethereum coin, there's Dogecoin. You got,
There's 700 of them.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I need to get a day game coin.
Yeah.
That could actually be done. So
just cut and paste throughout the code. Done.
With counterparty and
Proof of lay,
Proof of lay instead of proof of stake.
And your coin every time you crush them. I would let you finish that sentence.
I actually was considering for a while starting something where it's kind of a long story, but let's just say I had an idea once where I wanted to actually start. This is kind of crazy, but I thought it'd be funny to start a poker site based on Bitcoins. But for the prizes, I could just have like really expensive programs with me. So if you don't have like 10 grand to do the program, you could just put in like $50, play a tournament, and then all these people are playing tournaments. I'm getting the fee. It's my poker site.
You get all the freaking money.
I get all the freaking money, and then of course
the winner doesn't get any money. It comes to your event.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they come to take my expensive course, and that's actually not a bad idea at all. But I believe talking about making a Sasha Day game coin, Jeff. Everybody, it's Jeff Berwick, founder of Anarchapulco, joining us right now. What do you say, buddy?
What up, Jeff?
Hello.
Day one. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm still recovering.
He looks completely destroyed right now. Like he just came.
No, he looks in a lot better shape than he did last year.
I can imagine.
No black and blue eyes. That's good.
He's relatively sober now, so that's. He's totally sober. I'm joking.
So how's it going so far?
I think good. Well, we just started, as you know. We just had the entrepreneurship boot camp, which I think was really good. And you got two of the stars of the show on here,
right.
Joby and Sasha Day Game. And we had this Shark Tank. And I think it was better than the Shark Tank on TV, really.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah. And a lot of amazing people had some amazing. I think Joby's looking to invest in one of them, and I think Ash was looking for the other guy who had the video game Bitcoin idea to invest in it. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and you may be short one of the speakers. Apparently he, I don't know, doesn't know how to fly or something. What happened with that, or have you looked into that yet?
Well, we're already down 2 speakers because one of them is Elias Clay, the rapper, and she's a little I don't know how you would put it, sort of loopy. And she forgot what day her flight was and missed it, but she'll be coming on Friday. The other one's a totally different situation with Ken O'Keefe, who's notorious anti-Israel truth exposer, and he stupidly flew from London to Mexico through the U.S., and he got the SSSS on the boarding pass. I don't know if you guys know that.
I used to get that all the time.
What's this?
On your boarding pass, it will say SSSSS. It's like super selective service snooping, where they pull you aside into a padded room and guys from the State Department come in and interrogate you.
Oh, cheap
I used
massages.
to get it all the time.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he got he wouldn't go through the scanner. And I remember you used to be able to opt out of the scanner, and now there's no opt out. So he opted out, and they said, well, now you can't fly. And they wanted to do like a 2-hour search of him and stuff like that. And so he decided to just basically go to San Diego and walk across the border to Tijuana to a semi-free country for a change, and then fly here. He's actually flying here in a few hours, so he's had quite the day. Then there was Lauren Rumpler, who lost her passport on the airplane on the way here. This is quite the cast of characters.
Wow.
Well, you should have seen what happened to me when I drove through. I think it was like 4:30, maybe 5 in the morning, and they just waved us through. I'm like, what? I was kind of disappointed. I didn't get a pat down or a search. They didn't ask us anything. It's just
They're like, you're driving.
Like,
it means
what are you
have
looking
money
at?
to spend.
Leave. Go.
It was like a free country.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen when I go back. I'm
complete opposite for sure.
Yeah. I'm thinking I should probably take lube or something. So.
Just so you're at least comfortable when they do it to you.
Yeah, right.
That was the censored version of my comment.
Yeah, what were you doing down in Mexico? How long were you there? Why are you doing
right? Where were you born? Yeah. Who's the president? John Wayne, sir.
Actually, you know what? I accidentally drove into Mexico. I missed the exit to coming down from San Diego. I was going to just walk across, ride Mechanical Bull, drink some tequila in Tijuana, and I accidentally took the rental car into Mexico. And so I'm like, I, of course, went and partied and stuff, and then got back in the rental car and went back across. But I didn't have like my driver's license, my passport. I didn't have anything on me. I was just wearing surf shorts.
You just thought California was awesome for like, whoa, things have changed.
And I exercised my white privilege.
So we're coming to break.
I don't want a chip in my pages. Stay out of our lives. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sit down with Big Brother. Shame on that Big Brother trying to track and trace me and all you.
And welcome back to the Crypto Show live from Anarchapulco. So you want to go ahead and finish up that story? Or what?
I mean, it was funny. I drove in Mexico by accident. I was in a rental car. I didn't have my passport. I didn't have my driver's license. And I was in Tijuana. And I was like, well, I'm here now. I might as well go enjoy it. And so a couple hours later, drove back in America. And the guy stops me. He's like, you got your ID? I'm like, nope, I'm wearing my surf shorts, man. Don't have a passport, nothing. The guy looks at me and I'm like, just kind of threw my hands up in the air. And he's like, where were you born? I said, Colorado. He's like, that makes you an American. Welcome home, son. I was like,
that's awesome.
Well,
so I got it. That was my nice experience with that.
Too bad it wasn't the same guy.
I didn't need any lube or nothing.
Right. It wasn't too bad it wasn't the same guy that caught the Marine with all the guns, because he had a bad time.
Oh, that guy got stuck for a while. Poor guy. I hear Mexican jails are pretty fun, right, Jeff?
Yeah, they're totally awesome.
Lots of prostitutes,
you ever see the
cockfights?
Yeah, they actually, in Acapulco jail, a couple years ago, the federal government broke in to find out what was going on there. And you can look this up on YouTube. Just look up Acapulco jail, federal government sees or whatever. And they found 2 peacocks, prostitutes, drugs, alcohol, fighting cocks. Like, I tried to go to Acapulco jail, but it's really hard to get arrested here.
What type of cocks are you talking about?
Oh,
that are fighting?
Chickens.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. I don't even, that sounds like a great time. I'm much more comfortable in Mexico than I am in America. I don't even feel comfortable going back to America anymore because I just see what's going on and I'm very conscious of it. And they can really, I got extorted recently by the government there. I own a little RV that's really fun and we like to drive around. And I just left it somewhere with a street with no parking signs, nothing at all. It was absolutely legitimate. And they decided to just tow it and make me pay $300 for no reason. And they made up a reason on the form. And I had no choice but to lose my car that's worth probably about $8,000 or pay $300. And I paid the $300. But it's extortion and they're open about it. They're just like, yeah, we're going to take your money. What are you going to do about it?
Well, we were just flying.
And I just don't feel comfortable going there anymore. I can't. And so every time I go to America, I'm like, this could be the last time. And then after that, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just go to New York once because it's a really cool place. But I think this time may very well be the last time. Just saying.
Where are you currently living?
I don't live anywhere.
Oh,
yeah. I've learned not to say that to past patrol. They get really, just for the record, never say that to the people who are letting you into countries. They don't like that at all. Just pretend you live somewhere. A little tip there. I just say I'm from Toronto where I'm born and I pretend that I live there and it makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, less questions.
Yeah, a lot less questions. Where are you from? I'm from the city I'm born, sir. Great. Yeah.
Well, listen to this. We were going through Minneapolis on a Delta flight, and Stephanie had this really nice camera in her bag. And we go through security again because you have to go through security like 4 times. And we get home, and her camera's gone. So Stephanie's like, those TSA guys stole my camera. So we call up. They're like, no, they didn't, blah, blah, blah. Then they called us back. They're like, well, we reviewed the camera, the footage, and yes, a TSA agent actually did go into your purse and take your camera from you. We're taking disciplinary actions against this TSA agent, but we need $20 from you to pay for the FedEx bill to ship you back your camera. And I'm like, wait, you guys stole our camera out of our bag, and you're going to charge me $20 to get it back?
That's awesome. That is fantastic.
That's crazy.
So,
wow.
I don't blame you.
No, I had a story I was going to share that. See, when you go to the States, you at least have a chance that nothing will happen. They might just be like, cool, when you get through, and that's fine. Try going to Israel, okay? Anyone been to Israel? I went to Israel.
Yeah.
It is terrifying. It is terrifying. They go through every single thing in your bag, no matter where you're from. If you're not from there, you're an enemy of the state. They go through every single bag. No, listen.
I was the only one.
No, it's not just you. Every single. No, check
where's Joe Badiah come from? Where's Joe Badiah come from?
No, check out one of the questions I got. They ask you everything about everything. Okay, I had 2 cell phones in the bag. They actually open up and they look at my stuff. They look me right in the eye. No sense of irony or humor. Why you have 2 phones?
Yeah, they were taking.
Because I owned 1 cell phone and I decided, hey, I deserve another one, and I bought that one too. Now I have 2 of them. The only thing they didn't search was my dirty laundry bag, and they looked at it and they realized it was my dirty sock bag, and they left that. So if you are smuggling anything into Israel, dirty sock underwear bag. Just saying.
Yeah, I thought it was just me because they were taking everything out of my bag. This was years ago on my way out of the country, and they'd hold up like a computer mouse and they'd say, "What's this?" And I'd be like, it's a computer mouse. And they'd be like, And they actually took my computer. They took my laptop. They said they're going to send it to me a couple of days later. They never did. And 1 year later, it showed up at my dad's house in Canada, completely taken apart.
That's amazing.
Kind of scary.
Dude, my friend, we were doing a workshop in Israel a couple years ago. He just messages me. He's like, yeah, there was an incident. I'm going to make it, but I'm going to be there tomorrow. They said to him, he's a British guy, born in Britain, flying to Israel. They said to him, we're going to take your computer apart just to make sure it's all okay. He's just like, I'm going to miss my flight if you do that. They're like, we're going to need to take your computer apart. So he missed his flight, had to rebook all flights, everything, just because they wanted to take apart his computer for no reason. It's insane.
Do they reimburse you for the flight on this situation?
No, nothing.
I was like, hey, please don't stamp my passport. And they're like, why don't you want our stamp in your passport? I'm like, because you guys have pissed off half the world. And if you're stamping my passport, I won't be able to go to those countries. How about that one? Is that good enough?
Yeah, you'd have pretty much the worst with a U.S. passport with an Israeli stamp.
Dude, that's why I went to Syria for a month and Jordan and everything before I went to Israel, because there's no way Syria is going to let you in with an Israeli stamp now.
I'm surprised Israel.
Although there really is no such thing as Syria anymore anyways.
Well, spreading democracy.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to spread it.
We're still talking about democracy, right?
Yeah.
Because you looked at me seductively when I said that, so I wasn't sure.
Okay. All right.
Awkward pause.
So what are some of the events coming up tomorrow, Jeff? As Dick's a drag of a cigarette.
Well, we're doing.
We've got Roger Ver in the house.
Yeah,
that's right.
We can start talking some Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's why we get Roger on.
This is a Bitcoin show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when someone get off.
All right,
you had your spiel.
I can leave. That's fine.
Yeah.
Should I do the one joke you requested? Because I thought of one joke.
Do the joke.
I'll do my exit joke. Here we go. So it's not even a joke. I think it's really appropriate because I just spoke at the business event. It was a wonderful event, and I actually had a great business idea a couple years ago, genuinely. And here's what I want to do. I'd like to start a cleaning business, but I want to start a cleaning business, but I want to hire only multiracial employees, and I want to call it ethnic cleansing. What do you guys? That's good, right? It's catchy. I like it a lot.
That's pretty funny.
All right, I'm gonna introduce him. Here he comes, the Bitcoin Jesus. Make some noise, people at home.
All right.
Woo! I've been Sasha digging. Thanks very much.
That was awesome, Sasha.
All right. So
You
we're
got
gonna.
a joke there, Danny?
Yeah, we got Roger fixing to sit down with us, and then we're going to talk about some Bitcoin and some of the happenings on Twitter and whatnot, and figure out what's going on with the Bit Club, the Ponzi scheme from hell. Well, Roger, welcome to the Crypto Show.
Hey guys, always great to be with you.
A little closer there.
Even closer.
Yeah. All right.
Make love to that, Mike.
Yeah. All right. So how's it going so far here in Acapulco for you, Roger?
Even better than last year with an even bigger event and more exciting people and more exciting ideas. So always a fun time down here at Acapulco.
All right. So you want to just...
How long did it take you to get over here from Nevis or St. Kitts?
So it was a day and a half or whatever. So I spent the night at the airport hotel in Miami inside the U.S. and then flew to Mexico. And then here I am today.
Awesome.
I went the roundabout way. I had to go from EIS, from Tortola, to San Juan, 3 a.m. flight from San Juan to Chicago, then to Houston, then to Mexico City, then to Acapulco. I was so killing myself.
I had no layovers at all.
No?
I came direct.
24 hours by car.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
I drove.
You probably got here faster than I did.
Well, I looked at it, and there's either an 11-hour or a 15-hour layover in Mexico City before you can get here. So I'm like, well, I just want to drive and have transportation while I'm here.
Yeah, there you go. That's awesome.
Yeah. So let's get into this Bit Club thing. So recently we had the thing on Twitter where Roger decided that he doesn't work for Bit Club anymore because somebody had hired him without his his consent.
My friend, I got to tell you, and I got to apologize for my friend. He hashtags everybody, and he tweets everybody, and whatever it is that you do when you're tagging people into every conversation, he tags me in everything that he does.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, that's kind of like harassing almost. It's like you can't just tag a random picture with somebody that has nothing to do with something. So I've spoken with him about that a couple of times. Like, stop harassing Roger Ver about this, dude. Because like my first time, talking with Roger about Bitcoin mining, I had just finished a 30 some odd day cruise all the way through South America, and we were going around promoting Bitcoin everywhere. I met one of the original founders of Google, and the guy had the huge presidential suite and blah, 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 and we became pretty good friends. And he's like, oh, I love the idea of Bitcoin. He never had Bitcoin before. I told him how Bitcoin's created and the opportunity that we're creating this army, this network of affiliates that are going to bring us, merchants and ATM networks and mining and all this stuff. So he's all excited. I'm like, come to Korea. We're sponsoring the Inside Bitcoins conference. And so he's like, sure, I'm going to come. I'll throw $1 million into your deal. And I'm like, great, this is going to be awesome. It's going to cover the cost of my cruise and everything. So we get to Korea, and then he comes in, and I'm like, here it is. This is Inside Bitcoins. You're going to learn everything you want to know about Bitcoin. And oh my gosh, the first person who walks up is Roger Ver. And I'm like, Roger, this is my buddy Christoph. You got to meet him. He's really excited about Bitcoin and all this stuff. And Christoph's like, yeah, nice to meet you. What do you think about Bitcoin mining? Roger's like, Bitcoin mining sucks. Don't do it. And I'm like, Roger, what are you doing? I've like worked so hard on this guy to get him out here to Korea. Why don't you like Bitcoin mining? And Roger's like, oh, it's smarter to hold Bitcoin and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, shoot myself in the face. Because I've got this project and I haven't ever had a chance to sit down and actually thoroughly explain how it works. And so I was like, dang. And so that was the last time I saw you in Korea. And Bitcoin or Google, my Google friend,
Well,
ended up
the way
doing
that
anything else.
some of these videos are coming across is, he's using Roger's image or videos of Roger, putting it on the stage thing. And so it's like, I don't know, halfway through the video, it's all about Roger. And then all of a sudden it starts jumping into a Bit Club pitch. So it's kind of like, it's kind of disingenuous to use Roger or anybody else without their permission.
I 1,000% agree.
So, yeah, that's, I don't know. How do you feel about that, Russ? And welcome back to the Crypto Show with the perfect music playing for Bit Club. Oh, just kidding. I'm just kidding you. I'm just messing with you. So we were about to ask Roger what he thought about the way they were using the videos and portraying him as, part of Bit
what happened
Club.
is a guy in Japan named Hayden has developed a program called Staged, which hijacks YouTube content. So if you see a video on YouTube you like, instead of clicking share and having it share on YouTube, monetizing and collecting all the ads and all that kind of stuff, you click share through the Staged link, and it takes the HTML and creates a brand new web page instantly, but you control the banners around the video, and the stuff that pops up is your ads instead of YouTube ads. And so it's like hijacking the YouTube content. And so he created this whole company around it. And so a lot of the guys that do Bit Club, they like to share the Bitcoin videos, like the Bitcoin Gospel and all these other great videos that you guys have put out that are awesome, that explain Bitcoin. But then they can control the advertising around, so that when someone's like, oh, I want to find out how do I earn passive residual Bitcoin, and then they click the banner there, it brings them to the Bit Club site, where then it explains our opportunity.
Right.
And so that's I have nothing to do with any of these things. I can't control all these people all around the world and what they do. I've confronted Ryan and I said, dude, stop hashtagging Roger in every one of your freaking posts. So I'm go ahead and tell the world how pissed off it makes you feel, because it's embarrassing for me.
I don't know if I'm pissed off. I guess I'm just annoyed if people represent you as being involved with something that you're not, or saying that you're doing something that you're not. So, but I think the actual focus at this point should probably be on actual Bit Club itself. And I don't know much about it, to be honest, but from what I have heard about it, you guys initially started out doing Bitcoin mining, and Bitcoin mining is an incredibly competitive industry. And I remember when I saw you in Korea last time, and you had your friend from Google there, and he asked me, what do you think about Bitcoin mining? And I said the same sort of thing. It's incredibly competitive, and I think of it kind of the same way I think of gold mining. Yeah, maybe I could go in the mountains and dig up some gold, but my time is better spent doing other things. And if I want gold, or if I want Bitcoins, I'll use the money that I earn doing other things to buy those things. And I heard from multiple different sources that multiple different people that are involved with Bit Club are using me as, I guess, bait maybe to lure in new members to the club and saying, yeah, Roger Vere's involved and you should be too. And I'm not involved in any way. I'm not really interested in Bit Club because I see Bitcoin mining as such an incredibly competitive industry. And I have a really hard time understanding how Bit Club could earn money doing Bitcoin mining. And then on top of that, actually paying out all these affiliate ads and bringing in people underneath you and this and that. And I guess it's good in the sense that it's bringing new people to Bitcoin, but I'm really, really, really more than a little bit concerned that in the end it's going to wind up being a big problem for a lot of people because they're not going to get paid out all the money that they're promised in the beginning. And I don't know much about Bit Club, so I'm happy to hear why Bit Club is going to be able to earn a bunch of money doing Bitcoin mining more than what all these other miners or all these companies that are focused solely on mining and aren't doing all the affiliate marketing. So feel free to explain it.
I have a question. So what if people are just start the affiliate link or whatever, and then they're just hiring affiliates and they're not actually doing any mining because they didn't invest in the club? What's their position? They're just generating affiliates or what? I mean, is that the model of this, just to make new affiliates?
What's happening is when someone joins the club and buys a share in the mine, they're not buying a security. They're not buying stock in any company. What they're doing is they're buying physical Bitcoin mining equipment. And instead of taking delivery of that equipment and trying to figure out how to mine Bitcoin in their basement or something, paying retarded rates for electricity, we ship that mining equipment to our data center up in Iceland and link it together with all of our other equipment, and then it starts mining Bitcoin.
Which
and
is
and
basically Yoshi from Bitmain is the one managing all this.
Yoshi, we still do have a contract with Bitmain. They run the largest the pool, the Ant miners. They got the S7 chips, and I just recently did a deal with Bitfury. I got the new 16 nanometer immersion tech chips.
If I buy a $3,500 contract, whatever, and I'm getting how much a day for that?
So what happens is when someone, say you sell me $3,500 contract, you get a 5% commission. So you make $175. You're making a commission on the sale of Bitcoin mining equipment. So you're like a Bitcoin mining equipment salesperson. So you're making a commission on that. So now you have an incentive to set someone up with a wallet, walk them through the whole process of Bitcoin, sell them a share. Now you're making some money. Now you can actually go full time into promoting Bitcoin instead of having to do your other job, because everybody's got to make money doing something. I know for about 3 years, all I've been doing is handing out Bitcoin, not making any money. I've been promoting Bitcoin. I know tons of friends that have given away free Bitcoin, not making any money doing it. And they would love to find a way to make a full-time income, to be able to quit their job and go full-time into just promoting Bitcoin and actually make money to pay their bills. And so I was sitting there thinking to myself, how can we create an opportunity for all these people to come in and go full-time into promoting Bitcoin? How can we incentivize people to not only get into mining, but go sign up businesses to take Bitcoin? We have to pay them for their time to go sit down with a business owner and
So
set
I
them
think
all
the
up.
question at the end of the day, though, is how is BitClub going to earn the money to pay all these people?
Okay, so what happens is the people buy the mining equipment, and the equipment generates Bitcoin, which then is paid out in a daily dividend to all the shareholders.
Now, in this whole scenario, there's really only one miner, and that would be Yoshi. Everybody else, they're just hashers.
Look on BitClubPool.com.
I mean, if you're not the mining pool itself, if you're not the one running the mining pool, then you're just a hasher, basically. So they're not really miners.
Whatever the term you want to call everybody. The point is this. They buy mining equipment. They link it together with all of ours to create this supercomputer. It's kind of like how Visa works.
Right.
Visa tracks all the transactions, and every time that Visa card's swiped, they get a 3% rake. Visa's making $50 million a day. We're doing the same with Bitcoin. Although not only are we tracking all the transactions and securing the network, we get Bitcoin from its source when it springs into existence, the Coinbase, and we make money on the transactions. So that money then is paid out in a daily dividend to the shareholders, and that's how people get paid their money back. So, and then they make money. So say if someone bought 2 shares in the Bitcoin mine, so they spend $1,000, and let's say that $1,000 is paying out $2 a day per share. So that's 2 shares, that's $4 a day. So let's say you're pulling out $2 a day every day and putting it in your pocket. That's your daily dividend. And the other $2 a day, you're putting back into buying yourself a third share. $2 times 250 days is $500. $500 buys you your third share. So now you have 3 shares working together to buy you a 4th share. Those 4 shares work together to buy you a 5th share. So it starts to compound there. Meanwhile, you're still pulling out 50% every day. You're still pulling out your $2 a day. Eventually, you recoup all your money that you invested, plus you still have shares going, generating you more and more and more Bitcoin.
So I'd like to ask a question at this point. So there's lots and lots of companies online that are offering, you can buy hash power direct, and then you can do cloud mining. And most of them have ended badly, but for those companies that are offering that sort of thing today, why would it be a better deal to use BitClub than one of these other cloud mining companies?
Because they're just buying, because they're not actually buying physical Bitcoin mining equipment that we can use for 6 months, turn around, resell, buy the newest equipment. We have that rebuy in there because last year it was the S3 chips, then it was the S5 chips, now it's the S7 chips. We constantly have to be upgrading the equipment to stay competitive with all the other miners. And so that's why with our math, you can't pull out more than 70% a day. We force the rebuy every single day at least 30%. So it constantly makes the mine bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Our mine's going to be the biggest mine in the world. We'll have hundreds of thousands of
what percent of the network are you guys
We're already
trying
at
to
5%. We're at 30 petahash already, bro.
I mean,
30
but
petahash.
how much
we'll be at 48 petahash by September.
Are you trying to seek like half the network or a third? Or
bro, we're going to have a problem because mathematically we will be the biggest Bitcoin mine on earth. And everybody's like, oh, well, Bitcoin needs to compete with China, and 75% of all the transactions are in China, and the Great Firewall of China. Well, how do you expect to compete with China if you don't also take over some Bitcoin mining too? And that's my thought is like.
So what happens?
The physical hardware, is that in China or where?
No, it's up in Iceland.
All of it?
Yeah. And we got these new 12 petahash containers from Bitfury. We can deploy those anywhere. So we're now looking for the cheapest electricity up in central Washington. We can get electricity there for 3 cents a kilowatt hour. I've got a deal out in Malaysia that I can get free electricity. They got these magnetic motors I'm investigating in that if these things are legit, I can buy a magnetic motor container and throw the thing in the middle of a jungle and mine Bitcoin on a ship in the middle of the ocean. I mean, that's what I want to do is deploy these containers around the world. Have these nodes everywhere, and then create the Bitcoin ATM network. I'm right now in the middle of negotiations with Best Western Hotel. They want a Bitcoin ATM in every freaking hotel lobby. Imagine closing that deal. That's the 5th largest company in the world. Best Western. It's the #1 hotel chain in the world. If we put a Bitcoin ATM in every one of those hotels, can you imagine how simple it's going to be for people to get involved in Bitcoin? They can go to any Best Western, turn their cash into Bitcoin, and that creates transaction fees that we're going to disperse to our members. But we have to crowdfund it because these ATMs are expensive. They're like $10,000 an ATM. But a lot of people out there have extra cash, and they're like, hey, I want to invest and get into Bitcoin. I don't want to figure it all out. Here's some money, and let me just collect some cash flow on whatever that ATM is generating or whatever. And voila, we build this affiliate network. So now we got this army of affiliates all over the world. We already have over 10,000 people people in 80 countries. And now we say, hey, go get businesses, sign up merchants. All of a sudden, now they get a 1% rake off of whatever merchant forever and ever and ever. You sign up a business, and 10 years later, it's still taking Bitcoin. 10 years later, you're still getting paid on that merchant.
What percentage of the Bitcoin being mined is being spent on advertising? And I mean,
None.
you know,
we
how
take
are you
100% of the Bitcoin being mined,
right?
And pay it out to the shareholders. What happens is the commissions are paid on. Okay, so say you tell Juan.
I mean, if all of the money is coming from the Bitcoin, then
It's not-
this other money has to be going somewhere.
Okay, you gotta think, compartmentalize the two. Okay, the mine generates money, paid out in the daily dividends to the shareholders. Over here, someone new joins, they buy the Bitcoin mining equipment, the share. Okay, off the top, the commission's paid out on that referral once they get it. So you refer Juan spends $1,000, you get $50, right? A 5% commission on Juan. Now Juan, let's say Juan is making $2 a day or $4 a day, right? And he's only reinvesting $2 a day. So out of that $2, every day he's rebuying. That's buying more mining equipment. You get 5% of that $2 as well. So you're making 10 cents a day. So you get $50 up front and 10 cents a day. So you're making a little residual income as Juan buys himself another share in the mine. So
that's not the only fee that is coming in, right? Like there's a sort of buy barrier. You have to pay about $80 to get into the
that's
membership.
$99 to join the club. That's a one-time fee just to become a member of the club. And,
Okay.
and that goes to pay our computer programmers to
I seem to
develop it better.
remember $99, but I was told that Roger Ver was part of it and that Blake Anderson was part of it. And I gave you my $99, and then it's like, oh no, I want you to help me get Roger Ver involved.
Yeah,
in it.
okay, so I like him a lot. I like Danny a lot. I've been all over the world with Danny. I called him up and I said, Danny, I think we've got the app everybody's been saying to get the masses into Bitcoin, right? We're now
Purse.io?
I love that, but you don't have a way to create I've used it. You don't have a way though with Purse.io or any of these other apps to help people make a full-time income promoting Bitcoin.
Sure, and I'll tell you how
Okay,
right now.
Tell me
so
how.
with Purse.io, for anybody who doesn't know, you can get between 20 and 30% off every
Amazon.
single thing at Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So what you could do is you can buy whatever products that are popular on Amazon for, let's say, 30% off, buy new iPads or Xbox or whatever you want, and then turn around and post on your local Craigslist for 10% less than Amazon. And say you'll give the receipt with it, brand new in the box, everything, and you can turn around and people are already doing that and making full-time
And you can
income.
make the spread right there.
Or what's another really good idea, though, too, is you can put a Bitcoin ATM machine in or next to a Starbucks, and there's another thing called Fold app, which you're familiar
right in
with.
the Airbits, yeah.
You get 20% off every single purchase at Starbucks. So then put your Bitcoin ATM there with a big giant sign on the top of it and say, use this ATM machine to save 10% off at Starbucks. You can charge a 10% premium on every single Bitcoin that you sell.
And we're coming to break again.
This is the Logos Radio Network.
For the longest time. For the longest. If you said that Bitcoin was my line, I would tell you. Show enough, show you right. What else can I do? I'm so inspired by you, and I'm just holding for the longest time. Once I knew my stocks and bonds were gone, I knew Satoshi Nakamoto was the one to come and save me. Encrypted money memory, and I'm just holding for the longest time. Oh, for the longest time. Oh, for the longest. Don't panic, the price will rise and fall.
And welcome back to the Crypto Show, talking with Joby Weeks, Roger Ver, and Juan Galt. Go ahead and finish up what you had to say, Joby.
Well, all I was saying was when we launched this thing, you were one of the first people I called, and I said, look, I think I found it. I think I found something that all of us can participate. We can all make money now doing what we've already been doing for free. Finally getting paid for doing what we've already been doing for free. And so I told the same thing to Luke, to Jeff, to you, everybody, all you guys got spots, right? And the whole thing is, and I've been
I
building,
gave mine away.
I've been building. Blake's in. Blake loves it. Blake has signed up tons of people, and we pay out daily dividends. We've never missed a payment, and it's all automated and instantaneous. It's all in Bitcoin. We'll never 1099 anyone. We've got people all over the world excited about Bitcoin. We're bringing 99% of the people that are coming into BitClub have never even heard about Bitcoin. Right? We're not even targeting Bitcoin people. We're targeting the masses of people that are looking for a way to make money. There's look, 85% of the women out there that are multimillionaires, the way they become multimillionaires is network marketing for 85% of women. Network marketing is the way to free people because they don't have to now trade time for money and work jobs. They can create passive residual income. And what a better business. Most people hate network marketing because they have to go sign up their friends before they can make any money. Or they have to be on an automatic order, right? They have to sign up their friends. And if their friends after 3 or 4 months stop ordering the product because they got a whole closet full of the product that they're never going to get around to eating and stuff, then they cancel their automatic order, right? Well, when that order stops, the money stops flowing up to you. And if you don't order, you don't get paid. A lot of people hate network marketing for that very reason. And that's why with BitClub, we're like, look, there is no requirement for you to sign anybody up for you to make money in BitClub. You don't have to tell anyone. You can keep it a secret yourself. And there's no automatic order. So it's literally the perfect network marketing company because it's all Bitcoin in all countries of the world. No automatic order. No requirement to sign anyone up. We've got machines generating money for us. And if you choose to share it with friends, you can make a full-time income. So that's what I'm excited about. And it's happening. I've got friends making $1,000 a day in Bitcoin every single day. $1,000 a day coming in. I've had people throwing millions of dollars. I had a Google guy that was going to, but oh well, maybe his loss. Maybe it'll come in later on. But BitClub is not going to be stopped.
When I'm reading all these posts and stuff about BitClub, I keep running across the MLM behind MLM thing. And then that leads off into
people can write whatever they want to write.
You can say whoever they want is involved with it too.
They can, yeah.
Doesn't make it true.
No, they can. They if you read that story, none of the stuff in that story is actually true. They say that there's the escaped prisoners and shit that are testimonials. They can say, I mean, I've gone to some of these forums and read this stuff, and I'm like, that stuff's not actually true.
Well, some of the
I'm
stuff
intimately involved with all the people that are involved, and I would not put my name and my reputation towards something that's a scam. It's definitely not a Ponzi. If you want to call it a pyramid, that's fine because every business on earth is a pyramid. Every business, all the CEOs of all the businesses, the CEOs, middle management, staff executives, everything is a pyramid, right? Except in our pyramid, everybody can be their own CEO. Everyone can be at the top of their own pyramid. So we allow everybody to be the CEO if they want.
All right, so that's a great segue to, I think, the reason why this topic is kind of controversial and personal for people, especially in Bitcoin, is that there's been a lot of scams in the Bitcoin history, like bookloads. Like it's a long list.
And they all seemed fine, and everyone trusted them up until they blew up. Pirate at 40 was a great example of that for people that were around. Everybody thought, oh, this guy, passive income, and he's doing arbitrage, and he was paying out all these funds, and all of a sudden, boom. People lost a fortune.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, we know that network marketing works. We know that Bitcoin mining can be profitable. We know that a lot of the things that you're putting together, Joby, work, right? Separately, right? So why wouldn't they work together, right? But I think what I think would be most productive is to figure out what standards can a company like yours sort of set, what kind of proofs can you put forward that will appease the concern of the more sort of jaded Bitcoin people?
Well, it's the worst part of network marketing is that you have hundreds of thousands of people saying a bunch of stuff that might not technically be true, and there's no way of really policing that because how am I supposed to I don't speak Korean. I don't know what the Koreans are saying, right? I mean, I got the website translated in Korea, but they could be saying you're going to make 100% a month, and you need to sign up because you're going to make 100. I can't stop them from saying that. So there's awful things about network marketing, and that's one of them is people will misrepresent the company, but on the company's site, there's nothing there that guarantees people are going to make amazing, crazy returns on their money. Since July, we've found 330 blocks. That's almost $4 million in Bitcoin. We've paid it all out. Everybody's happy. Can
I ask how much money you guys have taken in so far? Approximately?
That's a great question. Calculate buying all the equipment. I mean, we just put another $17 million order in for Bitfury equipment.
So you spent $17 million and you've mined $4 million.
No, I mean, I'm on a payment plan right now with Bitfury buying their equipment right now.
So
we didn't have it all.
You have $17 million worth of debt, but you've mined $4 million worth of Bitcoin? Or tell us the numbers if you don't mind, because I'm worried even more hearing this.
Worried about what?
You guys owe $17 million for Bitcoin mining equipment.
We don't owe anybody anything.
You've agreed to buy $17 million?
I have, but it takes them 4 months to deliver the containers.
So in 4 months, you owe $17 million?
No. Each container is around $3 million. And so they will only start building a container if I put 50% down. And so that's $1.5 million I have to put down and then wait to take delivery on it. So I can get you that number on what we've totally took in. But to be able to generate $4 million, you've got to bring in a little bit more than that to buy all the equipment to generate that much. And
the idea with the business is to earn more than what you're spending. So,
of course.
And I don't know, have you guys taken in $2 million so far and mined $4 million worth of Bitcoins? Or have you taken in $10 million and mined $4 million worth of Bitcoins? And that's, I guess, what my question is.
I think we're taking in right now about $100,000 a day.
And for how many days and how much you guys know the numbers, but I look at Bitcoin mining and everybody can see exactly what electricity costs, what the price of Bitcoin is, and what the difficulty level is for Bitcoin. And I have a really hard time understanding how this is going to wind up being able to pay off all the money that's being promised.
But is Bitcoin mining profitable? Can it be profitable?
A lot of people are mining at a loss. It depends is the short answer.
Usually it takes, I think the S7, from what Yoshi told me, is it would take about a year for it to pay for itself. An S7 runs about $800, and it puts out about $8 worth of Bitcoin a day.
So Yoshi sells us this stuff at wholesale, okay? So we buy it for, let's call it $100. We use it for 3 months, 4 months, and we sell it for $100. So we basically get to use it for free and sell it for practically 90% of what we paid for it back after we used it.
Who's buying this?
We sell them on eBay and other people want their mining equipment. Some people halfway through the contract are like, I don't want to be in this anymore. Just send me my equipment and we'll pack it in a box and ship it to you. So all it is like outsourcing, like Timothy Ferriss says, 4-hour work week. Outsource as much as you can. Some people don't want to figure out Bitcoin mining for themselves. And this is a voluntary thing. We're not sticking a gun to anyone's head and saying, hey, join our deal. But what I am saying is don't misrepresent our deal. And just because we have an affiliate plan tied to it so we can show people how they can make a full-time income. I mean, no one got mad at Uber when they're giving away a free ride on Uber. You get a free ride, or Coinbase. Every time, you give away a wallet and they buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, you get $10 and they get $10. I mean, we walked people through this whole process. And I'm having tons of success. Tons of people are totally happy. And I'm looking forward to anybody that's not happy coming to me and saying, hey, I'm not happy. And we'll make it so that they are happy. I mean, that's what the attorney generals are there for, is to take victims and make sure that we're not creating victims. But can you find any victims of BitClub?
Well, it's an ongoing thing. They're not going to know. I mean, if it does end up like that, they're not going to know that they didn't get their investment back until later in the game. It's not something that's going to jump right out.
Let me explain another thing that we decided to do too. Besides merchants and ATMs and mining, we created our own coin, and we give that coin, it's called Club Coin, we give it away to all of our friends who join. Club Coin happens to be now the only coin you can mine on a Mac, and lots of people have Macintosh. Are we going to a break now?
In just a second.
Okay. You go to
BitChecks.
BitChecks.
We're going to break.
You may think our brains deteriorate with age, but new research shows that as brains get older, they actually work more efficiently. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht, back with new research on how aging makes the mind sharper after this.
Privacy is under attack. When you give up data about yourself, you'll never get it back again. And once your privacy is gone, you'll find your freedoms will start to vanish too. So protect your rights, say no to surveillance, and keep your information to yourself. Privacy, it's worth hanging on to. This message is brought to you by StartPage.com, the private search engine alternative to Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Start over with StartPage.
It's a widely held notion that the older people get, the more doddering they become. But new research shows that even as our brains age, they can actually become more efficient. Scientists asked two groups of volunteers, one age 18 to 35 and the other 55 to 75, to associate different words with given topics. At one point, they told everyone they'd made a mistake. When that happened, the younger group's brains lit up and lost focus. But the older group's brains didn't even flinch, and they stayed focused on solving the next task. The moral? There's something to be said for experience. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht for StartPage.com, the world's most private search engine.
Chemtrails.
You're listening to the Logos Radio Network at logosradionetwork.com.
I've been walking a tightrope between fact and fiction. Been wrestling with demons in small bottle prisons. Been talking to sinners who claim to be Christian, but shouting at leaders who claim to be listening.
And welcome back to the Crypto Show. With all the discussion during the break, I kind of forgot where we were. So go ahead.
Well, what I was saying is just we also created the world's first Apple-run mined coin called Club Coin. So you can actually run it on your Mac and mine it. It's a proof of stake coin instead of proof of work. Use electricity. We have the same kind of blockchain, yada, yada. But what we do is we give it to our members for free when they join. So when it started, when you joined, you would get 2 Club Coin for every $1 you spent. So if you spent $3,500, you got 7,000 Club Coin. Mm-hmm. Then it became 1-to-1. So you spent $3,500. That was like for the first 500 people or whatever. 1-to-1 for the next 500 people. You spend $3,500. You get.
Can I ask one question?
Club Coin.
So the number of Club Coins that could potentially exist is unlimited?
No, 80 million Club Coins will ever exist. But then what happened was February started, and now every $5 you spend with BitClub, you get 1 Club Coin. March 1st, every $6 you spend with BitClub, you get 1 Club Coin. In April, every $7, 1 Club Coin. So it gets more and more and more scarce.
Sounds a lot like Paycoin.
So you can now take your Club Coin. If there was anything that will ever take out Bitcoin, it will be Club Coin. You were talking about Dash.
Wait, what?
So there's a lot of really smart people out there that don't even think that proof of stake is a viable system.
Well, all I'm saying is my thought is this. If you have a coin, right, that is faster, like you were talking about your Dash coin, and there's Ethereum. Go on Bittrex right now. You go on Bittrex, and you can see Clubcoin is now trading. I mean, it's like at 50 cents or whatever it is.
How high did OneCoin get up to previously?
I think Doge is still going
Yeah,
high.
OneCoin is actually a Ponzi. But what I'm saying, Litecoin, Dogecoin, whatever.
Wait, OneCoin is a Ponzi?
Yeah, it's not a
But
decentralized
one of
blockchain.
your guys was pushing OneCoin.
Dude, I can't control what the hell people are saying or doing. This is his life. I don't promote OneCoin. I will straight up explain to you why OneCoin is a Ponzi versus what is a legitimate opportunity, right? But for us, I mean, our members are like, holy crap, I just spent $3,500 and I already have $1,000 in Clubcoin back. Plus, I'm getting my daily dividends in Bitcoin. Plus, I can now tell people and make money, and I can go do all these things. We're actually helping people make good money and be able to go full time into this thing. It's happening. So,
Roger, what could BitClub do to make you be more interested in BitClub, if there's anything? Let's just brainstorm.
If I wanted to do Bitcoin mining, I would do Bitcoin mining myself rather than this multi-level marketing own shares and some stuff. And I guess I'm not here to really, really bash on BitClub Network. I'm here to say,
stop using my name.
Yeah,
stop hashtagging me, Ryan.
I want to set the record straight. I am not a member of BitClub Network. I am incredibly skeptical of Bitcoin Network. I've seen no hard evidence or proof that it is a scam. So I'm not calling you guys scammers. I certainly don't think you have bad intentions at heart. But I'm really, really, really concerned about the business model, and I really have a hard time seeing how it's going to be able to earn money to pay back all these people that have been promised money. So I'm certainly personally not involved in any way. I have no intention of getting involved in any way. And if you have any influence on your other members, please have them stop telling people that I'm involved as well. So.
No problem. You got that.
Thank you.
What I was going to say about Clubcoin taking over Bitcoin one day, maybe, is because of our network. We're going to have an army of affiliates, hundreds of thousands of people all over the world that are signing up businesses, and every business that takes Bitcoin will also take Clubcoin. So you'll be able to spend your Clubcoin at all these businesses, which will raise the value of Clubcoin as well as Bitcoin. So
my fear is that if the whole thing implodes someday, you're going to have hundreds of thousands of people that have a really bad taste left in their mouth in regards to Bitcoin.
What would explode?
Because I'm concerned that you guys owe $17 million for mining equipment and you've only managed to mine $4 million worth of Bitcoin, and you have to pay for all that. You have to pay all the affiliates. I'm worried that you guys are going to be spending more money than you're actually able to earn, and then people aren't going to get paid the money that they were promised. That's what I'm worried about.
Okay. Well, how long are we going to be mining Bitcoin for?
You tell me. It's your business plan.
Well, the last Bitcoins will be mined near 2,140, right? And then after that, we'll be collecting money on transaction fees. We all agree that Bitcoin's going to go up in value over the next 5 years, right?
So if that's the case, wouldn't it be smarter for me to just take my money instead of buying shares in the BitClub network, just buy Bitcoins directly? Today I can get a little over 2 Bitcoins for $1,000. Am I likely to get more than 2 Bitcoins back from BitClub network in the future, or less?
I think so. That's why I'm doing BitClub instead of holding my Bitcoin. And the reason is because I have a lot of Bitcoin myself. So why am I doing it?
If you really think that you're going to get back more Bitcoin by putting money into BitClub today, then you would have sold all of your Bitcoin and put all of the proceeds from that into BitClub network.
I'm pretty deep. I'm pretty deep in BitClub. I put in over 6 figures myself. But we all get paid the same way. That's what I like. It's solely fair. We're all, whatever the mine generates is evenly split between all of us. And I believe that Bitcoin will rise in value. And my thought is, if I have $50,000, I could go and I could buy a new Mercedes. And while I have the car, or I could take the $50,000 and buy an asset that's going to generate cash flow to pay the Mercedes-Benz car payment. 3 years later, the car is paid for. I still have the asset generating cash flow to buy me a boat or some jet skis. In the same way, I could take $50,000, buy Bitcoin, hold it, hopefully it goes up, cross my fingers, maybe I'm going to trade it. When do I sell? I don't know. It stresses me out. Or I can take the same $50,000, buy Bitcoin mining equipment that will generate me an endless supply of Bitcoin year after year after year after year after year. And so that's why I'm doing it, because we get paid in Bitcoin. We're not, as the value of Bitcoin goes up, we're still getting paid in Bitcoin. We're not getting paid in dollars. So we're buying in these shares that.
But you get paid in less and less Bitcoin. I did a lot of Bitcoin mining. back in 2011, and I mined dozens of Bitcoins every single day using graphics cards. If I were to use that exact same Bitcoin mining hardware today, I could mine for an entire year and I'd get pennies.
Exactly. That's why we have the rebuy to constantly buy the newest tech. That's why we can't compete otherwise.
We're at what, 5 to 7 months away from the halving. So
obviously Bitcoin's going to go up.
At what, so you're going to be mining half the Bitcoin at that point. Then what?
Let me ask you a question. If Bitcoin's at $10,000 a Bitcoin, is it going to be profitable? If Bitcoin goes $100,000 a Bitcoin,
it's always going to be barely profitable at all, because everybody can see the price of Bitcoin, everybody can see the electricity price, and they can see all the variables involved. And so the only place to compete is on the cost of electricity. If you can get your electricity cheaper than other people, or if you can procure the Bitcoin mining hardware for less than other people, those are the only places to compete.
And that's what we got. We got the energy, we got the Bitfury chips that no one else in the world has but us, and we have the Bitmain
Bitfury
chips.
has them.
They called me.
Bitfury and me. The Bitfury and me. I'm the only person Bitfury's sold their chips to. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll sell to some other people. But I told them I buy all that they can produce.
I talked to them yesterday. Yeah, they will.
Well, they owe me chips, and I'm buying all the chips that they can produce. So, we'll stand in line.
Okay.
You got $3 million to buy a container, yeah? So, anyways, we're going to bring more people into Bitcoin than any other entity in the world. And that should be celebrated. We're all on the same team. Everybody that's in BitClub worships the ground you walk on. They share your videos with millions of people. And same with you and all your articles you write, right? I like how you're like, well, how can we you're very you're like a politician here or something. How do we all get along?
Yeah, how do we all get along? That's what I want.
I want to just apologize in advance though for my guys that do annoying, stupid things. They're
And
we let rapists and
I wish the very best for BitClub Network, but I don't see the long-term business model. It's just where I'm at. So I won't be putting any of my own money into it. But buyer beware. If people want to invest in it, feel free.
Yeah.
But man, I don't see the long-term business model there. Sorry.
So that's fine. There will always be Bitcoin mining. And my thought is, Roger likes the blockchain, right? But there has to be Bitcoin miners that are going to be involved in securing the blockchain. And if you don't want to participate in securing the blockchain, that's fine. And you can reap the rewards of our work as we build out this huge network that raises the value of Bitcoin and secures the blockchain. It's awesome. Sit around.
And as I said, I wish you the utmost success. I'm cheering for you.
Make you millions of dollars.
I hope that's the case, but I won't be investing my own money.
I'm not asking for an investment.
Okay. And I'm not going to be promoting it on YouTube or in any of your stuff. So I'm not involved.
But you know what he will be doing?
If the miners go away, there is no Bitcoin, there is no blockchain if the miners go away. And the miners get to decide. We get to decide if it's a 2 megabyte block or a 4 megabyte block or a fork or whatever is Bitcoin Classic. It's not anyone else. It's the miners that make that decision.
That's a whole other topic, right?
It is, isn't it? Am I wrong? Is it the miners that vote?
Yes,
it's
you
the
could
miners.
be potentially
You
wrong.
may be wrong.
What Roger may be investing in, though, is if this does go wrong, he may be investing in Bitcoin Bounty Hunter to get people's money back. So.
Well, luckily, all their money is tied up in physical equipment that can actually be sold and whatever.
Okay. So how long you keep the equipment for? How long then before you sell it? I mean,
until it's not profitable.
I mean, right
we
now,
have to constantly be upgrading. Like I said, we started with S3 chips, went to S5 chips, now we're at the S7 chips.
Well, the S7 is the highest. So right now, until the BitFury one comes on the market. So are you selling those or
S7s? No, we're not going to sell anybody else the S7s right now while we have them.
So what do
when the S8s come out? When the S8s come out, then we'll do it.
I got a question that'll freak some people out. So maybe I'll wait till.
We've got 15 seconds.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll see what Juan's question is back on the other side.
No, it's something that I can
Easy.
Waiting for the winds of change to sweep the clouds away. Waiting for the rainbow's end to cast its gold your way. Countless ways you pass the day. Waiting for someone to come and turn the world around. Looking for an answer to the question you have found.
Welcome back to the Crypto Show. We're here talking with Juan Galt. Roger stepped out for a second, and we have Sasha and Joey still on. So what was your question there for Joey?
All right, I'll put this out there for people that to kind of think about. So we're building Bitcoin is the most powerful sort of processing network in history, right? And it does something really well. It hashes SHA-256. That's about as much as I know, right? SHA-256 is a cryptographic standard that's used for security in many networks online, not even beyond cryptocurrencies like Visa and like banks. Like everybody uses sort of crypto and maybe.
So what are you trying to say?
What I'm saying is that all this old equipment, right, that we're sort of kind of putting out, can this stuff be repurposed to attack other, so like brute force security, like the password security for like big password vaults or attack sort of, I don't know, HTTPS or.
Well, that's what they say the quantum computers are going to do. And I suppose if you put enough processing power to a wallet, I don't know. Didn't even cross my mind. Yep. So we'll sell all that equipment to whoever wants to try to brute force attack whoever, whatever. We don't ask questions. I'll let anybody participate in this. This is open for everyone, black, yellow, red.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with your mining pool itself. It's just sort of a general question for people that are in Bitcoin engineering. It's like, are we actually building a huge
If you were going to brute force attack something, I'd do the Federal Reserve, and then I'd kind of like in that movie In Time. Remember when they broke into and they got all the time and they gave away time to everybody and all the people became free. Remember that movie, Justin Timberlake's movie In Time? I thought that was great when they hacked the Federal Reserve, and I was like, oh, let's hack the Fed. So yeah, we can put all this mining equipment, put it there.
I'm just throwing some ideas.
I have a question, and I'm not a Bitcoin expert, but I think a lot of people would be thinking this, right? What if the forces that be, whoever you want to call them, people that don't want to see Bitcoin succeed?
The man.
What if the man says, hey, we have unlimited money. Let's hire whoever we have to hire. Let's take this thing down. Is that possible? Can the entire Bitcoin thing just be absolutely destroyed?
So they'd have to get 51%, and then
how much is that going to cost? If you have $1 trillion, if you have unlimited, if you can print money out of thin air, fiat money, can you not just build your own network and crush the entire thing?
Yep.
Yeah, they could. They could.
Well, come answer the question.
They could, Roger, couldn't they? Yeah. If they got 51%.
So they could be really, really disruptive, but then all the people that actually care about Bitcoin and want to have a currency in which individuals are controlled, they just switch to a different algorithm, and then they would render useless this $1 trillion worth of mining equipment that the man had produced.
But so they would render useless all the mining equipment that we already are dependent on, so the security would kind of
Bitcoin goes to nothing, and we all just start using a different crypto.
We were talking about this earlier, that there's a third of the Bitcoin that's out there that's locked up anyway. How would they get their hands on those?
What?
They wouldn't. At the very most, they could just stop new transactions from happening. They can't undo transactions that already happened in the past.
Right. So this is one of the arguments pro proof of stake, right? With proof of work, all you can do is buy a lot of equipment, and then you can sort of the network can say, okay, we're not going to support that algorithm, and then we have to basically start securing the network from scratch, more or less, right, or from really low, right? With proof of stake, you would have to literally buy 70% of the people out of their coin, which is basically the only way to attack a proof of stake coin from this perspective is to pay everybody to get out, which is just making libertarians rich, which is a great idea. So as long as libertarians are rich, we're good.
It'd be way better for them to buy us out on Clubcoin than try to do $1 trillion on the Bitcoin network. But if they did that a way to prevent that is to strengthen numbers. And a lot of these miners out there, they're like super elite, and they don't let a lot of little people in. And that's what we're opening up with BitClub. We're allowing everybody everywhere to join us, and everyone can now become a Bitcoin miner.
Affiliate marketing is very powerful.
Yeah, it opens it up to the masses, all the little people. So now all the little people can be.
So now you're only selling.
Even my grandma.
You're only selling to midgets?
My grandma can Bitcoin mine. Can your grandma Bitcoin mine? Because mine is.
So you're saying that you're only going to sell to midgets?
Yeah, midgets. Oh, okay. Midgets are fine.
Just kidding.
My grandma's dead. Thanks for reminding me, buddy.
Think of all the people with marijuana felonies. Millions of people thrown in jail, victimless crime, marijuana, come out. They don't have anything to do. They can't go get jobs and stuff. They can join BitClub. We will have you. We need network marketers. We don't need Bitcoin people. We need network marketers. Marketers that want to go share this with the world. Tell two. If we did that, week 1, January 1, you tell 2. Week 2, they tell 2. Week 3, they. By your 36th week, you'd have 1 billion people. 1 billion. It's been going for 7 years. We only have 10 million people. For 7 years, 10 million. We should have 1 billion by now. And with network marketing, we can get 1 billion because now we've incentivized everybody to take the time to sit down with their friends and show them how to open a wallet. This is a wallet. This is an exchange. This is it's a learning process. A lot of people, I've heard of Bitcoin. Yeah, I've heard of Bitcoin. I see your posts all the time. Well, do you have any Bitcoin yet? Well, no. You've seen me posting for 6 months about Bitcoin. Why don't you have Bitcoin still? I don't know. It's just over my head. My eyes glaze over. Well, now we have an incentive to sit you down, set up the wallet, all that kind of stuff, which before we didn't have any way to pay people to do that, and now we do. So that's what I'm excited about.
All right, and in case anybody out there is feeling guilty because Joby Weeks says that they should be mining, support the network.
Or don't even support the network in mine. Go set up some merchants. Hey, Ernie Hancock in the house. Freedom's Phoenix.
No.
Hello.
I just had to open my ears and follow the joke.
Oh, man.
Hey, so you can buy into an ATM pool instead of the mining pool.
Or just invest your Bitcoin in anything else that you think is worth it, right?
That's
basically
put your
what
Bitcoin to work.
Investing.
Roger has bankrolled some really powerful and awesome companies that are changing the face of Bitcoin, right? And that's awesome. And he's growing his Bitcoin that way, and I respect that. When the ATM network's ready, forget buying into the mining pool. Buy into the ATM network.
Or just save it if you're not an investor, right?
Or save it and wait till it goes up while we do all the work. Everybody, I don't care. We're going to go do it. It's something to do. We're changing the world. So.
Are you having more problems with the ATMs in the U.S. versus other countries? Or
I haven't had problems. It's just that they're expensive. And you got to find someone responsible that's not going to steal your ATM. You got to find someone that's going to go put cash in the ATM. And I mean, it's a lot more hands-on than it is these other projects,
Uh-oh. Hold on.
I want the best West.
Ernie's on the mic. I got to put it on Ernie level.
A mic check.
Whoa, you got to turn down these headphones too.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So you made it, buddy.
Yeah.
Where'd you fly through? Phoenix to where?
It goes Phoenix, L.A., Mexico City, here. And it used to be when back in the day, you just go straight from Phoenix to Acapulco or Acapulco. And, but the State Department says of something kind of because of it just makes my life more assholes. I mean, seriously. Hey, I see you guys are using
we're on FM.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Excrement orifices or whatever.
There you go. Yeah, these cubes are great. I got this at Radio Shack just before it went out of business.
Really, Consumer Electronics Show a few years ago. Man, I cleaned them out. You know, I've been using them a lot. I love these things. It's like a square that plugs in and has a bunch of extra outlets, and you can, daisy chain.
Yeah, USBs and everything on it. Great.
Yeah, no, Joby got me in, man. I did my Bit Club Network deal. It's been mining now for like 9 days.
Everybody. And you made $1.08.
At least $2.
No, I did the $3,500 3-pool thing, and it is making me because I look at what I can take out. What am I getting? Now, the rebuy is cool and everything, or whatever. I want to know what I can take home. That's what I want to know. And the contract, it looks like it's about 8 to 15% return. So it's positive cash flow. Now, of course, there's all this other, you get other people in multi-level. I make a bunch of craps of money, which is what I'm sure Joey's going to do. And the thing is that I have friends that are looking at it right now. And there's a bunch of questions that we have, and he's been really helpful. We call him on the phone. He takes a call. We got guys sitting there. They're ready to do it. So I'm looking at my thing. Hey, people have done it. I'm going, okay. I was good putting the banner on Freedom's Feet. I guess they're doing it. So the one thing that I wanted is 9 days. I want to go a couple of weeks and see that I was actually mining Bitcoin that I could take out and it would pay the contract. Well, that's already doing that. And then
you got some Club Coin, didn't you, too?
Yeah, that's not complicated.
You can sell it.
You can explain it to me later. But the main thing is that it's, revenue positive, for the and then Bitcoin went up. And I go, it's more positive. So then, so I don't have bad things to say yet. I'm just kind of, we'll wait and see and how it goes, but it's doing pretty well. And that's why I'm going to spend. I've been looking for you when we got time while we're down here. I'm going to be talking a lot to Joby about it because I have a lot of other friends that are really into this kind of stuff. Made a lot of money doing it, and I showed it to them, and they're all excited. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, wait till it starts actually. Let's make sure, And so, but so I'm glad. I tell you, the biggest reason that I'm interested in it is that if we are able to even maintain our, how much we put in, it's not going to get lost like, the dollar, so that's better. The other thing is that we are investing in the technology of the future, and the way the buyback forces you back in to buy more mining equipment. It keeps you current. Mm-hmm. It has it always, increasing its market share of the mining potential. And then hopefully it sucked it away from China just a little bit. So
yeah, but see, the Chinese are willing to take a loss. That's what we're competing against. These guys that can't wire more than $50,000 out of China. Even if you're a multimillionaire a year, right? So they got all this money. They can't take it out of China. So what are they doing? They're dumping all that money into buying Bitcoin mining equipment, right? And they don't even care. They're like, here's $1 million. I only want 900 grand back. Just get me 900 grand right now. I'm getting out of here. And they turn it into Bitcoin and they fly over to Antigua. They buy themselves a hotel or whatever. And voila, now they're Chinese living on the beach in Antigua with their Bitcoin. And so that's what we're up against. And we're still profitable, even though the Chinese are doing this and they're taking a loss on purpose.
Imagine the wall goes down. Then what happens? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the shitty governments all around the world the tyrannical governments around the world, that's where Bitcoin's going to do well. Just like in China. That's why they love it, because it's a way to get free from the oppression of their governments.
I'm really drilling down on this for the audience. Yesterday I had Peter Todd on. We talked about, a lot of this stuff. So, I remember we got to spend a year ago here in Acapulco. We're on the beach just beating the crap out of them for 3 hours to go, say it. And then, when I come back, the first day I'm back as Wednesday, Andreas Antonopoulos is coming.